Why?
Like, I feel like I have nothing that's, like, out of the ordinary. Just kinda
Oh.
it just, like,
Yeah,
kinda
no, neither do
swells.
I. That's like the old school top fives
Yeah, yeah,
where
this
we
is
do
definitely
like
an old school
top
one.
five bears and stuff.
Yeah. This is definitely one where we're just gonna be like, "Yeah, yeah, alright."
Yeah, right. Top five worst smells would be good too.
I think I'm gonna throw out a dishonorable mention of
It's honorable mention. Stinky farts.
Steve's. Alright, we are streaming, so
Alright, I'll
let's get
throw
it
it up
out
on
there.
our story.
Let me get the font changed.
I'll grab my AirPods now. Ah, that looks nice. Green screen. Did you see my earlier story post?
Your what? Yeah, I saw it. That was pretty cool.
That was a pretty good picture.
Yeah, that's as front and center as it gets.
It's like a reward almost for going to all the games, even though they're bad.
Alright. Let me
My
see.
mic sounds the same, right?
Yeah,
Switch
you
to the
sound fine.
AirPods.
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
Let me get it out there. There's so much to talk about with this game. It might take like an hour.
I know. That's what we did last week with my game.
I know, and it actually would have been an hour if I
I
actually
know.
freaking won.
This the Brandon Miller story, I think, is like my favorite story ever. I'm like, I don't know if you
He's
saw my
my
tweet, but I'm literally obsessed with it. It's so wild. I can't even believe it.
we'll talk once we press the record button. Let me get it out there. Um okay.
Boy smell. Can't get over that.
You ready?
Yep.
All right. Get started. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
I'm still my adrenaline's still pumping from Wednesday, Chris. I feel like it's been a blur of a week ever since then. It's just kind of ever since then it's just kind of happened. That was kind of my whole week, honestly.
I was
Um
about to say that's one of those games where your whole week just revolves around that. That was how I
oh,
felt last week, where it's just like Thursday night game. The whole week is just building up to that moment.
oh yeah. It was building up the whole time to Wednesday night, 9 p.m. It was the only thing I was looking forward to. The only thing I could keep my head around. And there's a lot to discuss in this game. So I guess I'm gonna do it chronologically. Um, I get to the gate about
Well, can
six.
we provide some context first? Like,
Okay, yeah, yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right.
Alabama is going to South Carolina,
Yes,
number 2 in the
number
country.
number two, Alabama goes into South Carolina. Let's start it off with Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning. The reports come out. Brandon Miller is involved with this serious scandal that led to a woman dying. Um, he apparently provided the gun. So there's all questions up in the air. All of our group chats are going off. Is he gonna play? Are we gonna actually have a chance? Like, are we gonna actually win this? Um, the coach comes out. He says, and I quote, "He was in the wrong place at the wrong time," and that's all he says about it. And they let him play. So that we could discuss after I finish everything. But just
I have a lot on that.
just the fact that he is playing, it's building up this already impent rage that we want to beat Alabama so badly that it's like it's adding on layers that are just coming out.
Yep.
So then come Wednesday, it's about 6:30. I have a class from 5:30 to 6:45. I walk down to the professor when I get there. I go, "Excuse me, Miss McGinnis. Uh, I have a meeting at 6:30, so
Oh
I'm
my
gonna be
god.
getting up and leaving. Just so you're aware, at like 6:25. Cause I didn't want to just get up and be rude and just walk out. So I get
You're
up
right,
before
yeah.
her.
I've done that before for, like, a DC trip. I've had to leave class early.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, I completely get it. Thanks for letting me know." I was like, "Perfect, I'm in.
Mm.
I'm ready to go." 6:25. We're in the middle of like doing something, some eye clicker. I just stand up, walk out, head to the gate. I am my buddies get there first, luckily, so I was a little less stressed because they were like, we're the first people in line, like don't worry too much.
Mm.
Because for I had a feeling like for some reason I was gonna get there at like 6:45, 7, and the line was gonna be packed, and I was gonna be just shitting my pants the whole time.
Yeah. This is a 9 o'clock game,
Yeah, yeah,
by the
yeah.
way.
But yes, so people are aware it starts at 9 p.m. So I got there at 6:40 ish, and third person in line. So I'm good to go. I feel a little bit better. Then the people start coming in. It gets starting to get crowded. We got a bunch of my guys, from my fraternity, to show out to this game. And we had the whole like front row section where I'm at. That was just filled with our guys. So, but I was still nervous on getting a seat.
Mhm.
So, anyways, that's another hour and 30 of just me, just like heart pumping, just ready to just get let in. I just want to be let in.
Yep, that's right.
And I get in. They have these shirtsies, which is a shirt jersey, and it's reversible.
Like, nice.
Yeah, they're not bad. It's reversible too, so you get two different colors.
I
And
noticed everyone was wearing white and you were wearing red.
yeah, yeah. So everyone was wearing these shirtsies white. Um, I decided I was rocking with my signed jersey. I wasn't gonna put on the shirtsy. Um, but then so the shirtsies are over there, and they're not normally where they put the t-shirts. Normally they put the t-shirts directly in front of the student, like in front of the stairs to the student section, so I can grab one and just run to my seat. This time you had to
Right.
go a little bit around and then back to the stairs. So I just said, "Screw it, I'll get one later," and ran down to the seats. I got my seats, secured them. I finally was able to rest for a second. Was able
Yep.
just to
You breathed for the
relax.
first time?
Yeah, yeah. I was able to just breathe. We get the seats that we wanted, and we're looking good. I go back up. I get a shirt seat. Come back down. We're ready for the game. Got an hour, and it's still just like my heart is just racing the whole time. Oh, also, I get down. I come down, and a couple of my buddies are already there after I get the shirt seat, and I just go, "All right, now where this Brandon Miller fella at?" And I say it, and there's a player sitting in front of the seats in front of us. And
Right.
my roommate Riley just goes, or former roommate Riley just goes, just. And if you're not watching on YouTube, I'm
Oh
pointing to
my.
the person in front of me. So I just stood there in silence. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like
Is he scary?
I mean
I mean, he was an accessory to murder.
he was talking back to us and like trying to talk some shit.
Really?
He didn't talk like he didn't say anything when I said it. Thank God. Good thing he
Mhm.
didn't pull out a gun on me. Like, jeez. Uh, but then 2 seconds later, a guy comes down, and he's not anyone I know. He's not anyone I've ever seen. He comes down. He's sitting like a couple rows behind us. He literally just got to his seat. He screams out while they're warming up, "Yo, Brandon, where's your gun at?" And the cop in front turns around, takes him. He goes, "You're leaving, buddy. We'll see you later." And they boot him out of the stands immediately.
What?
Yeah, they didn't want anything that had to do with the controversy being said. You're out.
Really?
And thank
Did
God.
they tell you
Thank
that beforehand? I
No,
feel
they
like
didn't
that's not
tell
fair.
anyone. They didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
So thank God I saw that because I could have said some foul stuff. Oh, also,
I'm assuming that you had, like, a lot ready to go.
oh yeah, we had material shot creator, best where's all the assists going? Like it was all over the place. But I forgot to mention in line, we're standing there and there's the security guards are like there's a big I mean it's a big crowd eventually and it's like
Mhm.
people are like there's murmurs there's and all I hear is there's a guy who pulled up in a jumpsuit, an orange jumpsuit. They freaking booted him out of the line.
What?
They booted him out of the line. Like we tried to bring in signs. Nope, weren't allowed to bring in
Yeah,
signs this game. You weren't like
soft.
they were trying to restrict it as well as possible from
That's
anything
so
about that.
soft.
Um okay, the game
That
happens.
definitely came from the SEC.
Yeah, yeah, it did. And I think it came from the school too, like
So,
but anyways, the game starts and it's fucking electric. It's one of the greatest college basketball games I've ever watched. Definitely one of the best I've ever watched in person, even though we lost. And just my God, every shot felt like it was the most important shot of the game.
yep.
Um, so then I get a tap on the shoulder. My buddy Zach Lambert, who works for Colonial Life Arena for like the event stuff, he goes, you ready to do something under 8 minutes at halftime? I mean at like the timeout break? It's like, oh, I'm ready. So
Did you
come
know
like
before, or did he just, like, come up to you?
no, so he was telling me throughout the week, like, I'm gonna get you in and you're gonna do something on the court. And I didn't know like I didn't I was like, I'll believe it when I see it type of deal. And
Oh, okay.
and then then he got there and I was ready to go. So about 11 minutes with the half left, they take me and they walk me over, and I'm standing like the corner. They hand me a basketball. They go, "You have to make a layup." Actually, they told me you have to make three uh free throws within 30 seconds.
Mm.
And I mean, you've seen me do free throws. I was just like, I'm screwed. I'm done for. I'm not gonna hit one. So then he goes out, and that's what I was like known the whole time. So I'm just sitting there and like I'm watching the game, but they gave me a basketball. I'm just going like
Right.
that, just doing the free throw things. Like I'm just trying to get it going. Um, and I go out there, I go on the center stage, and the guy who like does all the promotional stuff, he's like, "All right, I'm here with Brady," and he's doing the layup free throw 3-point challenge in 30 seconds, and I was just like, "Thank God." Like, thank God. I was so happy to hear that I had to do a layup and a three-pointer instead of just three
Yeah.
throws. Um, and Chris, you've seen the video. I make
It's
the
one of the
make
most electric videos I've seen.
I make the layup. I go up to and I make the layup immediately. There was no hesitation,
Yeah.
nothing. They say
I
go.
you need that.
No, I needed it. Yeah, I needed all the time I could get on the free throws. Because of that, I spend 28 seconds on free throws just to hit one. I missed 3 of them. I hit the
The
4th
first
one.
one was rough.
The 4th one,
The
yeah, the
first
first one
one was
was an air ball. It was pretty bad. Um, but and I didn't even feel like I deserved that free throw because it bounced up and then went back down in. So
Yeah.
it's not like I sunk it. And then
But
there's
it made it more exciting, though.
oh, it made it way more exciting. And it made
So I was like, "Oh, boy, now you have a second to shoot the 3."
I had 1 second to shoot the 3. I grab it, they throw it to me, I just whoosh, heave it. Goes right in, nothing but net. And I'm telling you, I was on cloud 9. That was insane. It not only at the time were we beating number 2 in the country, but then I got the whole student section chanting my name afterwards.
Yep.
It's actually insane.
That
Also,
was it was an awesome video. We gotta post I don't think we posted it to our account, but we will.
no, we could, yeah, we'll post it to our account. Um, and afterwards, because throughout there, I should have mentioned it right before the tip off starts. There's a big eruption in the crowd, a big roar. Who's that coming out? Coming to sit down courtside? Shane Beamer.
I guess.
He's ready. He is ready. Oh, did you say, can I guess? Yeah, Shane Beamer. You would have
Well,
got
I
it.
said I have a guess.
Yeah. So after I do my thing, I'm coming back. Like people are high fiving me in the stands. All I get is a Coke T-shirt, by the way. But
Right.
I
Yeah.
come up. I walk past. I go, Mr. Beamer, this was for you. Turns around, he goes, "Let me shake your hand, young man. Great job, Brady." I could have melted right there. I could have melted on the ground and never come back up. I shook his hand, looked him in the eyes. I said, "Thank you, Mr. Beamer," and I could have died happy. I could have died happy right then and there.
My God.
It was insane.
That's so awesome. That's like your dream come true. I mean, you talk about him almost every podcast. How much you love him. And yeah, he asked you to shake his hand.
No, I asked him, but he was like talking to someone. I was like, "Mr. Beamer, this is for you," and he stood up and he like put his hand out. I was like, "Oh my God, what a guy!"
Just kissed him.
Yeah, I wanted to like
What a
hug
man.
him. Like hug him.
I love you.
I'm never letting go.
Yeah, right. All right, relax, Brady.
I know. Afterwards, I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." That really did just happen.
All right,
It's fine.
all right.
But it was fun. I got a bunch of different angles of me doing the competition, which was fun because it
Mhm.
was like the one game where every student was there, which I haven't mentioned yet.
Right.
That was the best. That was the first college basketball game I've ever been to. The first real college basketball game I've ever been to. That was more fun than a noon football game. That was a hell of a lot more fun than a noon football game. The atmosphere in there, I thought when it came to overtime and it came to 2 minutes left, I seriously thought I was going to pass out. Because I was screaming so loud and it was so constant. And there was just so much energy that like my head was just like in shambles.
Oh, yeah.
It was in.
I remember my head at halftime of the Purdue game, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Oh, yeah.
This game.
There was doubts the whole game. I was like, if this is going to be close all game, like I'm actually going to
right. If every bucket is actually this important the whole game, which it was, the game was close the whole time, then it takes a toll on your body.
It really does.
It really does. And you have no voice. Even the next day, like your throat's like.
Oh, I had nothing yesterday.
A little messed up.
I still got a little frog in there. He's crazy.
Yeah, it's all worth it though. I mean, it did. It looked wild in there.
Yeah,
cockpit was rocking.
The cockpit was rocking. So let's talk about the game itself. Brandon Miller, the guy who should never played, 41. He dropped. No one else on the team could really hit anything. He took the last bucket too, got it.
And the last before overtime and in overtime.
And in overtime. It started to get to the point where at the end they just couldn't do anything. Like they just tried their hardest. And I don't know if you could tell from the TV, but the ref ball really did mess us up here. I don't like blaming losses on refs, and normally it's not. And I'm not going to blame this one on the refs. They definitely could have defended the pick and roll a little bit better and had a better game plan in the last couple seconds. But the free throws was 25-13. That's been ridiculous. And guys like I've been seeing it all year. Guys like Hayden Brown and Josh Gray, they stand there with their arms up, where they get a clean block.
The last foul on Brown was
a clean block. It was a clean block.
And the announcer too was like, "Yeah, I think he got him with the body," and I was like, "Yes," but it was at the same time as he got his hand on the ball, and it was such a soft call. I was pretty annoyed about that. Just let the kids play.
That was the thing. It ruined all the South Carolina momentum. It got Gigi Jackson pouting, even though it was a close game, and he had 19.
Oh my God, he pouts so much.
See?
I had never really watched a game, and holy shit. On defense, like he just won't get back.
No, there was so many times where he just didn't get back at all on defense. And he's
That
mad
is
about the
wild.
refs. He's mad that he doesn't get the ball. And it gets to a point where I was like, GG, you've had 19 for 10 minutes now. Like, just get a bucket. Stop bitching and moaning. Play some defense and just get a bucket. Um, and that was the key. Like, we just couldn't keep up. In the stretch, it was Jacoby Wright, just a kid from Fort Mill. Um,
He looked
he
great.
Yeah, he was getting everything. He was doing everything that we needed.
Yeah.
Michi
Those
had a
little pull-up jumpers around the free throw line,
they were and
like the turnaround,
every time it was always like one
well
of those
defended
shots.
too.
Oh, it was one of those shots where it's like, oh, and it was like, oh my god, I went in. Like thank
Yeah,
God.
right.
Um,
Like we couldn't get a better look than that.
no, but it went in.
But
It
yeah,
kept going.
everything was falling.
Uh, Weird substitutions. I mean, at the end, like Verdonk's getting subbed in for Josh at like the last couple seconds. It's like, why? He's got 0 points out there, and he's got one rebound. Uh, the Spark. Did you see Eli Sparkman? 14, the white kid. Did you watch the whole game, or was
No.
it because it was at the end of the first half?
I watched a little bit in the first half, like when I was studying, and then I watched the end of the game, like probably the last 5 minutes in overtime.
So Eli Sparkman, he's a walk on. He was supposed to be a manager, but they ran out of manager spots,
Mhm.
and he knew the coach, and the coach was just like, "Yeah, just like be on our bench." So he's just a walk on from this year. I think he's a freshman, and he wasn't even supposed to play. He gets in the game. This is the second time all season he's really played. He played last week against LSU, which we got a dub, not to mention. So good dub over at LSU. And he comes in, he gets one look in the corner, an open three, nails it, and that was the loudest I've ever seen Colonial Life. Because first of all, people who don't go normally to the games, which was a lot of people there, had no clue who the hell that guy was. No idea
Right.
that he was even on the team. And he comes in and in a pivotal moment just nails a massive three.
That's got to be the best moment of his college career.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe of his life.
Yeah, definitely. But weird substitutions. I don't know if you could tell. I felt like they just couldn't get the spark that they needed, and so they're just kind of trying out Verdonk, and Zachary Davis had a decent game, but we just couldn't.
I like
crash the
Hayden
doors.
Brown.
Yeah, I like him too. The issue with him is that he fouls out every game because the refs hate him. He fouled out, and that happens. I've watched him almost every home game. He gets fouled out, and it's for shit like what you saw. It really is not that egregious. It's pretty soft. But they completely out rebounded us, like horrifically. And other than that, I mean, we played a great game, and something to build off of. It hurt. It hurt to be, but it was cool to say, hey, we kept it within 2 points and could have won against number 2 in the country.
Yeah, and hopefully it shows the people that went that don't usually go that games are fun.
Yeah.
If you show out and you get a good crowd there.
Mhm.
Like, you can make every game fun.
Yeah, every
if
game
you
can
just
be like
go.
that. Yeah, you just got to go and be loud. And every single spot in the student section was filled up. And I've never seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
So if people just normally came to games like that, we'd probably win a lot more games.
Yeah. It is real. Like, the crowd has an impact on the game.
Yeah, and there was a lot of kids afterwards though that they were like, oh, like that was a lot. Like I gotta go to the games next year. I gotta make sure I go next year.
That's good.
So
Good.
hopefully that they keep it up and they're not just saying that. It's funny. I kind of want to write like a piece on this team. Like I just feel like I'm so connected with this team. I probably know them better than anybody else in the country. Like I could just write a detailed article about this South Carolina team specifically.
Like
I think
a
I
memoir
will.
almost.
I think I will.
My experience with the South Carolina basketball team.
Yeah. The eyes of the cockpit. That's what I'll title it.
Well, you don't even sit in the cockpit, do you?
So that is technically part of the cockpit.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just it's weird how it's kind of sectioned off. It's like there's two different sections of the
Mhm.
cockpit.
I gotcha.
Um, the Michi half court at halftime was pretty wild. That was electric. The Gigi Jackson dunk was awesome.
Mhm.
He winded that up from far. Um,
Yeah. I did not know that he would have that reach
no, yeah, that
to
was
be able to throw
insane.
that down. When he jumped and did that dunk, I was like, "What?"
Yeah, yeah.
That's why he's getting NBA looks.
Yep, exactly. And it was funny seeing him match up against Brandon Miller. If he was as aggressive as Brandon Miller is, then
Mhm.
he could have scored 40. He could have scored 30.
Yeah.
He had 19, I swear to God, for 10 minutes. So I there's a lot of room to improve with him, but it was a well fart match. What's your take on Mr. Miller?
I mean, he got a text from his friend that said, "I'm in an altercation. Please bring me the gun." And Brandon Miller said, "Okay," and brought him the gun. And then minutes later, that gun was shot and used to kill somebody. And Nate Oates said, "Oh, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time." It's like I can't even believe that they let him play.
The
They
accountability
would
is
suspend him at
absolutely
least to like
ridiculous.
figure out the rest of the story.
Like just at least you're already the number 2 seed. You can't suspend them till the start of the SEC tournament.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, at
right.
least
Let it
until more details come out.
wait at least until let's see if he gets arrested. Like this is absolutely unfathomable how the Alabama Crimson Tide code of conduct lets this shit happen. They're like how in a university, in a public school university, is this allowed? And a perfect example is my South Carolina football team. There was 3 players who had a gun in their dorm room. It wasn't used to kill anybody, and they didn't give it to anyone who killed anybody. But you know what? They were suspended for spring training, and they'll probably be suspended for the first game next season. So that's just like 2 different sides of similar stories, and look how it gets taken care of. Um, what bothers me too is what the NCAA can't step in and be like, "Hey,
Mhm.
screw this guy."
I
It
mean,
drove me
it's
crazy.
like even if legally he can't be charged with anything, which it looks like he can't somehow, there's like the facts are that he drove a murder weapon to the scene of the murder.
Yep.
Like that's enough, I feel, and no one's disputing that. Like he had the
No,
gun, he brought it to the shooter.
the coach was like,
That's
"Oh,
what
we
happened.
knew about this the whole time.
Yeah,
Wrong place, wrong time."
it's like college kids, they go out, things happen, wrong place, and it's like no,
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 that's
no,
just
no,
not
no, no.
true.
I think college kids go out and things happen is like, oh, he's at a party that gets busted.
Yeah, or like, "Oh,
Not
he got caught smoking weed or something." Like, or he's
yeah.
caught drinking underage. Like, come on.
Right. This is like a completely different universe than what we usually see these kids get suspended for.
No, this is
And I hate to say it, but like if he was some schmo, he's off the team.
yep. If he was a
If
bench
he's not
player,
Brandon Miller,
yeah.
if he
Yep.
was Verdonk, he's kicked off the team.
Mhm. Oh, if he was 25, he'd be kicked 25 on Bama sucks. He was so garbage. I cheered every time he shot. I was like, "Let's go." And he had a shot late in the game, and I was like, "If this is the 1-3 he hits, I'm gonna piss
Yeah, right.
myself." Um, but yeah, and like he comes out there. Also, I love the Alabama fans being like, "Oh, these South Carolina fans are classless. They're classless." Like sharping at this guy. It's like this guy killed somebody. This guy
Yeah.
literally killed somebody. Um, Also, forgot to mention 2 fights with Alabama fans happened.
Yeah.
Both of them
Oh
got
yeah, they stopped the game.
they stopped the game because there was a heated. I don't know if it like I just saw some pushing and like yelling, but the Bama guys got booted. Nah, nah,
Good.
nah, 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 nah. And then,
Should done the right left with him.
oh, what's the right left?
As they're walking, every time
Oh
he
yeah,
steps with the
yeah,
right foot.
right. Okay,
Right, left,
that's great.
right,
Yeah,
left.
that's great. And then on the other side, I think it was after the Gigi dunk. Um, there was another altercation that another Alabama fan got booted. So
That's good.
it was a
I'm
good.
glad that people are riled up.
Oh yeah, people were angry. They were mad. Um, so more stuff. I mean, I could keep going for hours, but more stuff about the game on Twitter afterwards. I saw it was a tweet. It was like South Carolina fans chanting he was guilty every time Brandon Miller gets the ball. I was like, that's not true. That didn't happen. We booed him every time he got the ball, and
Yeah.
and we did though when he did free throws. I didn't
To
partake because
lock
I
him
didn't want to
up.
say anything, but yeah, it was lock him up, and and then at one time with the free throws, it was just guilty, guilty, guilty. Um, Clearly, it didn't affect him at all because he's a bucket. He dropped 41,
Yeah.
so
I
he.
hate that he came out and literally had the best game of his career.
I know,
Because
I
it's
know.
like, and people on Twitter were like, the writers were saying, "Oh, amidst all the controversy, Brandon Miller
Yeah, yeah.
silences the noise and has a
Yeah.
game." It's like the controversy, like he was an accessory to murder.
This
It's not like his grandma passed away.
I found it. I found the player I hate the most. I will hate him forever. I will
Yeah,
never
I
root
will
for
too.
Brandon Miller, and I will only root for his demise. Like and I've never really had an athlete where I've hate him this much. Like this is it, and I'm locked in for
Yeah,
if he
the
plays.
only I can think of, like Greg Hardy, maybe beat the piss out of his girlfriend, and then the
Yeah,
Cowboys signed him 2 weeks later.
yeah,
He's that's what this is like,
yeah. Watson,
kind of
Watson
like
sucks too. But like,
Watson. Yeah,
I there's
but
no.
this is like,
This is personal to me now. This is now personal, and I don't. If he plays 10 years in the NBA, 15, he'll probably be a good player because he's a freaking bucket. But
yeah,
I will hate him everywhere he goes, and I'll hate any team that drafts him. And they're just putting it out there for the.
yeah.
Also, there was a bunch of scouts there. That was kind of cool, watching guys in Suns polos and Utah polos walking
Yeah,
around.
yeah. I remember when Indiana came to Maryland, there were a bunch of scouts for Jackson Davis, I guess, and which you know, way more guys in polos than there usually are
Yeah.
in the media
Yep.
section.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Um.
yes, I mean, he's a scumbag.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. I don't know what you want me like what he could possibly say or what details could come out about this story that would make this like what would get him off the hook.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing.
There can't be anything because we know what the facts are. The facts are the guy texted him saying, "Bring me the gun." He brought him the gun.
Absolutely blasphemous. Blasphemous how that's allowed. Um. All right. To wrap it up, I don't even know where to start wrapping it up because I could just keep going. Well, all right. Let's do it this way. Tomorrow we play Tennessee, number 11. We lost by 40 last time. Hope to see that number.
They're vulnerable though.
What?
I said they're vulnerable.
Tennessee
They've been
is?
losing a lot of games.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are. Yeah, they've been
Kind of
losing
on
some
a
weird
little
ones.
crash and burn.
Yeah. That's a good point. So maybe an upset coming there. And then I'm missing
At home or at
no,
Tennessee?
it's at Tennessee. I'm missing the last home game because it's during spring break. So I'm done. I'm done for the year. I'm
Yeah,
retired.
gotcha.
It's so
Yeah.
sad. That was, I think, the saddest
Oh, I
part.
know.
When I was driving home, I was just like this group of guys, I'm never gonna be able to see them play again. So sad.
Yeah, mine's Sunday.
Which
I'm
sucks too
I'm not
because it's
ready.
like we play Wednesday and we don't play again at home until next Saturday. So it's like that Tuesday game or tomorrow's game could have easily been at home and I could see him one more time.
Mhm.
Um But
Yeah, it does feel like as a student especially, you just get connected to the team
hmm
because you're at literally every game. You sit so close. You feel like you're like best friends with them.
oh,
Dude, you
oh,
like you literally talk to them.
Eli Sparkman followed me on Instagram. Yeah,
Really?
he's us. If you're watching on YouTube, he's right there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. No, and we got a nice Josh Gray chant going on. Everyone in the my little section because we all knew I was like boys with him. So he
Yeah.
gets subbed in, and I didn't even start it. And it was Josh Gray, Josh Gray, Josh Gray. It was so awesome. Um, but yeah, it was a winnable game that it was so electric though, so much fun. And then the only thing else I got for College Corner is I play water polo tomorrow here
There you go.
and we play Maryland.
Oh yeah.
That's the first game. 12-10. We play Maryland. So I'll keep you updated on what I do against them.
I
I'm
hate to root
excited.
against you in water polo, but
I mean, yeah, you got to root for the home team. That's all right.
I
That's all
ride
right.
for my guys.
Yeah, you got to ride for your guys.
I didn't know we had a club team.
Yeah, it's they're coming up. I think they're coming up today and they're staying till uh Sunday. Which makes sense.
You guys are hosting the tournament.
Yep, it's the first semi-annual Carolina Cup. So
Oh, nice.
we
How
want
many
to keep
teams are in
it
it?
4 teams. It's us, Maryland, UNCW, and Auburn.
Oh, nice. Man, Auburn's making that trip.
Yeah, yeah. I think Auburn might be the best team, but
Hmm,
I mean, we got to defend the home court. We got to keep the
that's
Carolina
right.
Cup. We
Bring
can't
home
we
the
can't let,
chip.
yeah we can't let it go away. I'm excited. I'm so pumped though. Like this week in practice, I'm just fine. I'm just feeling it. So that'll be exciting, and I'll
It
keep
is
you.
nice. Like I've noticed that playing intramural sports, like this is club obviously, so it's a little bit more intense, but just to get those competitive juices flowing again,
hmm
and like to play in a game that you really want to win,
Yeah.
where score is kept, is nice.
Oh, I posted on my story yesterday the AJ McCarron quote from last night. We'll talk about the XFL later, but they had a game and they won it. And AJ McCarron, they were like, "Oh, like how's this feel like for your family and all that?" And he's like, "Just good to play some football. Like I'm glad I'm not a
Yep.
backup anymore. Like I'm actually getting able to just play some football. So it's always fun to play, and
That's
I'm
like
just
the JMS quote when he said, growing up, I always knew that my passion was football. But then when I got hurt, I realized my passion was playing football."
excited. Such a great quote. That's an all-timer, honestly.
All time. His
Oh,
eyes like light up.
all right.
It's true.
It
There's
is
not
true.
like nothing beats being on the floor
No, yeah,
or
being on
in
the
the
court.
water.
Also, it was a dream come true just dribbling a basketball on the Colonial Life court. That's all
Yeah,
I
I
needed.
bet.
Yeah, that's all I needed. All right. Well, your side of College Corner, what you got?
I missed my first home game in a
Ooh,
while
ooh.
because I was sick
Oh,
on Wednesday, which was awful. And I missed my rec basketball game. So I've been
damn.
sick. You can hear the congestion a little bit.
Flu game.
It's lingering. Yeah. So that was wildly disappointing. I missed a game over winter break, and there was one game that was like 40 degrees and raining that we didn't go to. And other than that, I have not missed a game. But I had to miss Minnesota the other night. We beat them by 18. Oh, I guess they didn't miss me in the stands. I almost wanted it to be a close game.
Just to see,
Just
like, oh, yeah. Like, I
maybe it
need
was
to.
like the me factor. But no, of course I'd rather see my team
I'm
dominate.
worried about the
But
me factor for South Carolina because I think because I only watch losses. I only watch losses, so I'm seriously worried about if we like beat Georgia at
yeah,
home.
God forbid.
Like I'm kind of gonna be devastated. I'm gonna be excited that we win, but I'm gonna be like, man, I really am a bad luck charm. Like I really
Yep.
can't get anything done.
Yeah, we missed the Clemson game.
Yep,
We missed the
one.
Tennessee game in football.
Yep, one.
So
And like
But
the only SEC games we can win are on the road. And maybe it's because I'm not there.
apparently. But we lost on the road to Nebraska. That was a classic letdown spot, and we fell into that trap, which was unfortunate. But we got back on the right track against Minnesota, and Sunday we're gonna have our third sellout in a row against Northwestern, who is the second best team in the Big Ten. Apparently, they're ranked 21st, and this
Really?
game will be They just lost last night to Illinois, but they're still a game up on everyone else for second place. So, Boo Booey, their point guard,
Boo Booey.
quietly turning into one of the better players in the country. Look him up. He kind of looks like Drake.
Boo. Is it just BOO?
It's and then Buie.
Yeah, I see it.
Boo Booey. He's electric.
He does look.
He actually. Yeah, but like Drake, if he were a caveman.
He looks like if Drake actually did work for State Farm, and he's Drake from State Farm. That's what he looks like.
But yeah, so he's a stud. We're gonna have to find a way to slow him down. But this game is gonna be for second place in the Big Ten, which is crazy to think about. When going into the season, we were picked to finish 10th. There was not a lot of talent on this roster, and in January, I thought that they were the worst offensive team in the country. So everything has turned around. Senior night, or I guess senior day. It's another noon game, which is so ass. Hard to get energy in the building, even in a sellout.
Yeah, that's a shame.
It's like if it like the 4:30 game that we had on a Saturday, like people had time to look her up, and there was some energy in there. Any night game, like there's juice in the building, but the noon, it's like with football, just kind of like roll in.
Yeah.
You know, obviously we're not tailgating on a Sunday morning, but it'll still be a packed house. So I'm excited. It'll be my last game of the year. It's always sad, but I need a win. We can't lose our last home game when we haven't lost once in the Big Ten.
Yeah, that would be a shame.
That's what's on the line. Undefeated home conference season.
That's like actually something huge. That's big. So that would be a lot. Because
last year we lost like every game. So this is nice. This is like a complete switch from last year. It's like the opposite team.
Maybe that's what I'm getting next year. Hopefully.
There you go.
Yeah, hopefully.
Let Lamont get his guys in.
That's what I'm saying. Number 1 player in Wisconsin's coming. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. One thing I could talk for 2 hours about this game, but there's 30 seconds left, maybe less. It's a tie ball game, and they go over the loudspeakers and they go, "At the end of regulation, please stay off the court." And first, I was mad because I was like, "That's so stupid," and like there was like security guards like lined up, like ready to do it, and like that's not stopping.
Really?
Us. Yeah, they were not having it. And the other thing that made me mad though, I was like, "We didn't win the game yet. Why would you say that? Why the fuck would you say that?" That made me so mad. I was like,
"That's the worst. That's the bigger sin is not trying to keep people off the court, but implying that you're going to win the game."
I was like, we have not won the game yet, and you just announced to all the Alabama fans and players, basically like, "Oh, please don't storm the court when we win." It's like, Jesus Christ, how stupid could you be? It made me so mad, and afterwards, I swear, I was like, we're screwed. I was like, we're gonna lose now because of that. And then it went to overtime, and immediately I was like, yep, we're done.
Yeah, once it went to overtime, you're in trouble because you knew that Miller could just get the ball every possession.
No, and we were surviving those last couple seconds.
Yeah,
we were just surviving.
Can we talk about before we move on? Who was the guy that threw the ball down the court?
Oh, Zachary Davis.
Like the last basket. He wasn't even out of bounds.
No.
And he just took it and chucked it. Not even close to the basket. There was no one there that he's passing. I was like, what just happened? Is that like a delay of game?
No, the refs were just like Fuck's this guy doing? They just gave him the ball
I was
back. They're
the
like, this.
same thing. I was like, "What? What is he doing?"
Oh, it was so dumb.
'Cause he
And
threw it. He was at first. I was like, "Wow, what a horrible pass!" And I was like, "Wait a minute. He wasn't even throwing it in. He was still in bounds."
yeah, he wasn't doing anything.
Just like forgot how basketball works. I guess.
Zachary Davis does that a couple times a game. He just kind of just does whatever.
He just gets excited.
Yeah, he just gets excited. When that Michi shot went up
Gosh, that
and it
was so
bounced off the
funny.
backboard, like
Oh,
I was gonna pass out. I was
that
gonna have a heart attack.
incredibly close.
I know. And he was
I
the
could
guy to
see that
do it
like a lot
too.
of people had already filed out. Like, oh man, imagine you're in the concourse, like you already left,
Oh, just running,
and
running down.
that happens.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was incredibly close to going in.
it was insane. It was absolutely insane. Um, all right, let's finally move on. A nice solid 42 minutes on College Corner. I always love those because that means we
This
got
is
some
what the
passion.
people want, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, I think it is too. Um,
It's
so
it really is a shit. Like I don't know what we're gonna do for College Corner. Talk about baseball, I guess. I mean, we still have March Madness coming up. Oh,
I think that all
I
right.
have March
I
Madness.
think I think we can make some noise in the SEC playoffs.
Yeah,
And I don't know how many you need to
you guys are
win.
frisky.
I know. I don't know how many we need to win to like secure a spot. I don't. We probably have to win it
The
all.
whole thing.
Honestly, yeah, we probably got to win it all. But I think we can make some noise. I think it's possible.
It's do like the SEC is not as good as it was at the beginning of the
No,
season.
and we just showed we could play against anyone. Just showed it. So they're coming up next, as I said, tomorrow, Tennessee. If that's a close game or maybe a victory, I mean, we'll really be in store. We'll be cooking. So hopefully
Got to
that
get hot at the right time.
yeah, gotta get hot at the right time. And we didn't even mention. I guess I mentioned it for a second, but they did beat LSU in LSU, so that was a good win.
Mm.
So hopefully just keep the momentum up, keep it coming, and maybe we can make some noise. And maybe I'll see you in the March
Man, there
Madness
are
then.
some maybe. That'll be
What a
a
turnaround that would
wild
be.
podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what a turnaround that would be. Oh, if we faced each other, I think we'd. I don't know what.
Oh,
would happen.
especially after all the football stuff.
Yeah, it would be
It'd
insane.
be insane. I don't think we couldn't speak. I don't think.
We'd have to wait till after the game, at least.
Yeah,
All
at least
right,
a few days after the game.
let's move on finally. Let's finally get this a rest. Let all the College Corner rest for a little bit. And we're going to move on to the XFL. Or do you want to do All-Star first? We didn't really talk about it.
Into XFL.
All right. The Defenders are back, baby. We're back.
What
We
a,
won it.
what a
1-0.
showing.
Yeah. The first game back. Audi Field is electric. It's fired up. It's making beer snakes. It's throwing lemons on the field. And it was I'm trying to look at like the actual like box score and stuff. I can just see the game. Oh, there it is. So we beat the Seattle Sea Dragons in a close finish. Literally, it took to the end, and
Yep.
it like man, what a way to start the XFL season again.
It was a wild game. It was the first game, I think, where the announcers were almost encouraging the fans to throw things on the field.
Oh yeah,
Like
Yeah.
first it was the lemons, and then I don't know if I think it was a turnover, and like the Dragons went and celebrated, or maybe it was a touchdown in that end zone,
yeah. It was
and the
they
fans
got a
were
pick.
throwing like
Yeah, they were throwing.
full bottles at them. And the announcers were like, "Oh, like that's what happens when you come to DC and talk to fans." I was like, "What?" Usually they're like, "Oh, this is disgusting. The fans should be ashamed of themselves." But it's the XFL.
This is where fun
Like
happens.
you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, this is where fun
Yeah.
happens.
It was wild.
And it just looked like being there and knowing what the atmosphere is kind of like a little bit. Just
Yeah.
seeing it still be alive 2 years later and still
Yeah.
being the best XFL fans in the world. It was so much fun to see. And we had
Yeah, we helped set the culture.
Oh yeah, we definitely helped sell the
We were
culture.
rowdy.
Yeah, we were. And if we you knew if we were 21, we would have had but then we would have had the beer snakes going too.
Oh,
The
yeah.
the fact that they kiboshed the beer snakes is sacrilegious.
I know, like, what the hell?
What's the harm?
They marketed the beer snake.
I don't
There is no
understand the harm.
harm.
I don't get the problem with it.
Yeah.
But
So,
game wise,
basically, it's like you pick your poison, the beer snake or things get thrown on the
yeah, or we'll
field.
just throw everything on the field.
Seems like a pretty easy trade, but we'll see what happens the next game. I'm gonna go to one of the next two, I think. I was really annoyed that I didn't go.
Yeah, I gotta try to make my way up there. Hopefully they're playing a little bit later and I can try to get a thing up
Maybe
there.
the Yops.
The offs, yeah, maybe I can go to the offs. It was a defensive performance by the defenders. Their offense was decent, but it was mainly the defense that sealed the game and everything. Right at the end of the game, it's is what is it, Ben DiNucci, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. He goes they're on like the 1 yard line. They're down by 3 or 4. I was like, oh no. I go to the bathroom.
I know. They
I go
sold.
I go to the bathroom and all I hear from outside, because I was watching with my buddy Walker, and he was like, "Oh, like you're so passionate, like I'm gonna be a DC fan too." And I go to the bathroom, all I hear is, "Oh my god, fumble!" I just run back out, like pulling up my pants. I'm just like, "No way, like let's go!" And just a great way to end the game, and perfect way
It's a
to
classic, like, end to an XFL game, too.
yeah yeah. And especially the Sea Dragons on offense just completely dominated the defenders.
Oh, I know.
And it
Well,
just
freaking Josh Gordon is the best player on the field.
oh yeah, he was a
He still
monster.
got it.
Yeah. And when he's playing against all these guys, it's like, yeah, no shit, he's gonna be the leading receiver or close to it.
Yeah. People for like Josh Gordon, I don't know if it was 2013 maybe, is literally one of the best receiving seasons of all time.
Yeah. I think
He
it
had
was
like
2012,
1,600
2013.
yards.
Yeah, it was insane.
He was insanely good.
It's
And
I
then the
love
weed stuff.
yeah. I love seeing this league though. The
I know.
like just that Ben DiNucci is facing off against Jordan Taimamu and De'Ara King somehow is so much fun.
I love
Uh,
how like Eric Dungy was the guy that we marketed as the starter, and he's didn't even get in the game, did he? He's
yeah,
our third stringer.
I was telling my buddy Walker that I was like, yeah, the defenders had the number 1 pick in the quarterbacks draft, took this kid from Syracuse, and now they signed De'Ara King and Jordan Tamamu in free agency, and just
Yep.
buried him in the bench.
Yeah, the draft means literally nothing. I feel like
No, and like though
all about
I
coaching.
would rather I rather would see them play anyways. Like those are the guys I want to watch. De'Ara King's electric.
Oh
So is
yeah,
Tamamu. They're both insane.
dude,
They're so much fun.
he is incredibly athletic.
He's mini
King, I don't know if
Lamar.
you saw my tweet, but yeah, he is.
He's mini Lamar.
Like I kind of want him on the Commanders. He can move. He can scoot. I don't know if he can throw the ball. They didn't really try much.
No, they only let him throw it twice. What I also like
But
the announcers were like, oh, at some point Ben DiNucci I think threw a pick, and they're like, oh, Steven Montez is going in, and
yeah,
it was just like he only got a couple tries, but the announcers had a great point. They're like, nobody knows what any of these guys are like on the field besides their college tape.
yeah.
Like there is no scouting, there's no preseason, there's just what you know from training camp, and that's it. So it was cool to see them try out different players, try out different formations, try out different things.
Problem is they're all bad.
All the quarterbacks,
Quarterback play is
yeah,
not good.
no, throughout the whole XFL too. It's not great.
Yes. No, not just this game. It's pretty porous.
So week 1, I didn't watch any other games besides the Defenders because Defenders
Yeah,
Nation.
neither did I.
They had the St. Louis Battlehawks though. They were down. They were down 15-3 in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left, and here is what the game log looks like. Uh, sorry, give me one sec. It goes touchdown, AJ McCarron, 3-point conversion, good. Kickoff, they instead of doing a kickoff, they do a 4th down and 15 from
Yep.
the 50-yard line. So they do that because that's their version of the onside kick. They get it and then immediately score another touchdown. Or not immediately, but in a little bit. They score another touchdown and win. That is just what the XFL is all about, baby. It's about having fun. Anyone gets a chance.
It's literally exactly what the rule change is intended to happen.
Yep.
It's like a crazy comeback at the end of the game.
It worked out exactly how they drew it up. The Rock was probably sitting there
Yep.
like, oh, like genius. Check, check, check. It all worked out. They did
Yep.
everything.
The Rock
they
was
added.
in DC.
Yeah, The Rock was. Well, he went to. Did you know he went to every one of the games? So after this
He did.
Battlehawks game in San Antonio, he must have flown to DC immediately.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. He's a great commish to have.
Yeah. He's the perfect guy to run it.
Who was the commish? Because we saw him. Who was it last time?
Andrew Luck's dad.
Oh yeah, it was Andrew Luck's dad.
Well, it was Vince McMahon was the money
the
behind
owner.
it. But yeah, it was Oliver Luck.
Yep, I remember that.
Remember when he threw up the X?
Yes.
I have a picture of it still, of me like taking a selfie as he throws up the X. It's a live photo.
That's so
pretty awesome. With the shield too.
Oh, I had the shield. I was excited. I was tapping the shield before the game. I was getting it hyped up, getting excited. And now, so week 2 just started yesterday. The Seattle Battlehawks, or not Seattle Battlehawks, St. Louis Battlehawks. They got another comeback. I don't think it was as crazy as last week, but they got 9 points in the 4th quarter, so it was pretty. I think they got did they get another 3-point conversion? No, they didn't get it. But anywho, so they got another one. The Seattle Sea Dragons are now 0-2. I don't know. They are rivals.
It's Sea Dragons or the
Yeah.
Battlehawks?
The Sea Dragons.
I mean, we squash them every time we face them.
That's what I'm saying. It's a one.
Battlehawks are the team to beat in the East.
They are the bet. They are.
Remember last year when they came to DC?
Yeah.
They got kicked the shit out of them.
Well, yeah, and that was Jordan
like
Tamamu's team too.
3 or something.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal game. No, yeah, now it's Jordan.
That
Tamamu's
was after
team.
we benched Cardell. It was Tyree Jackson, I think.
Oh, Tyree Jackson was electric.
Versus yeah, man.
And then our defenders play again
game.
at Vegas against the Vipers. I'm excited to watch that tomorrow. Luckily it's right after my water polo game, so I'm excited to watch that tomorrow.
What time is it?
7 p.m. Another night game. DC's got to play under the lights. Oh, well, next week they play at 1 versus said Battlehawks. So they're coming to town next week.
I think they might get the Vipers again.
Yeah, so it goes
the next week.
Yeah, it goes Battlehawks and then the week after Vipers again. And then Battlehawks
and that's
again.
a Sunday night game.
And then Battlehawks again.
Interesting. 15-6 was the score of that game last year against the Battlehawks.
Ugh, so gross. That is absolutely
great ball game. Great ball game.
But I love seeing the players be able to play. Love seeing the opportunity that this has created. And it looks like there's a different feeling this time around. There's a different feeling, like a little more professionalism, a little more shit's covered, and like hopefully this lasts for however long they want to do it for.
Yeah, I love it. There's no people complain about new football leagues. Like, why do you care? Just don't watch it. Like the bowl games.
Yeah, exactly.
They're fun to go to.
Where do you So there's the USFL. Where do you see them 5 years from now? Both leagues.
Definitely not both existing.
Yeah, no, they're gonna eat each
other.
One
of them will go.
Yeah.
I would even bet on one of them lasting that long, to be honest. It's just like it doesn't the quality of play is so bad at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's true. I think if the XFL keeps on the right track, I think maybe it gets to a point because now all the quote unquote named players have now flipped back to the XFL, and now it's like literally a bunch of
Mhm.
nobodies are in the USFL. So I think if they keep going strong for next 2 years or whatever, maybe they absorb some of those teams and we get like a big G League
Mhm.
type spring league.
Isn't that what the AAF tried to do? Like, it tried to be
I
a
totally
minor
forgot about
league
that.
for the NFL.
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't even last a full season.
No, because they and that one it wasn't even COVID based. They just ran out of money. Couldn't even finish it. Ran out of money. Remember that was the one you could see. They had the app, and you could like see the players doing the plays live on the
Yeah,
app.
right. It really wasn't that cool, though.
No, it never worked. It was always broken. All right.
Yeah,
Any
this and there was no DC team, the
no,
AAF either.
no. It's funny.
Eric
There
Gilbert played in the AAF,
who?
as did Young Wei Koo.
Yes, I remember Young Wei Koo there. The So it's funny to look at. There's so many Southern teams because of how cheap it is to rent out stadiums there.
Yeah,
So I
makes
guess good for
sense.
them for doing that. But I'm glad DC has a team again, and I'm glad the Defenders are
Mhm.
back. Any final thoughts on the good old Defenders?
I'm ready to get back in the stands. I'm ready to defend.
Yeah, we need to defend again. All
I
right.
hope they give away shields again. I didn't see
No,
people with
no, they
shields.
got rally towels, and I was like, suckers, suckers.
Rally towels are pretty cool, though.
Yeah, but I have a million of those. I
I
only
didn't see
have
him
two
waving them.
shields.
Yeah, that's true. You have 2 shields?
Yeah, I got two that game. Remember, it was like
I've
I
one and
think
the
Jerry and
handle's
I got
broken.
two.
Yeah. Well, they were flying in the air. I think I threw my shield in the air, and I just ended up with another one.
I got a
That was
Samoa.
one of the rowdiest games I've been
Oh,
to.
yeah, I got a Samoa to the mouth immediately after we scored that first touchdown. Samoa
Yeah.
shoved it in my mouth.
It
All right, let's
was. It's the Wild West in those stands.
It really is. We need to move on. We need to go to the All-Star break. Um the All-Star break game, the game happened, the 3-point contest, the skills challenge, dunk contest. The only one worthwhile was Matt McClung.
Yeah.
Literally the only thing all weekend that mattered was Matt McClung. He single-handedly put on a above par performance at this dunk contest, and that's really all we've been asking for like 3 years now.
Yeah, basically.
I didn't.
I just love how he looks the way that he does.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
It makes it so much
so
better.
he just looks like a ninth grader.
Yep. Yeah,
He's
it looks
winning
like
the
he hasn't
MVP.
shaved
And
yet.
the other great thing is that he's not even on the Sixers.
No, he signed with the Sixers the day
He's in the
before,
G
so he could wear the
League.
jersey.
Yeah. But it is good. Like, that's probably the best moment of his career,
Oh yeah, that might be one of the
and
best
it
moments of
was
his
awesome.
life.
So, oh yeah,
Hey, Philly got a title. Good for Philly.
yeah, that's right.
It's about time. Um, the game itself, the All Star. Actually, let's talk about I guess the other dunkers. The guy from the Knicks. Have you seen that dunk where he does it and like nobody even flinches from their seats? Nobody even blinks. Like they are just sitting there in silence. There's not a clap in the stadium. That had to have been the most embarrassing thing
Oh
I've
my
ever
gosh.
seen. Like he dunks and he has that stupid piece of paper that he rips and it says 50 and I think he got like a 40 on
Yeah.
it. Like that guy was such a clown. And it was so funny that he's from the Knicks too. It makes it so much better.
Oh yeah, it's perfect. I don't. Yeah, the dunk contest is just going down the shitter.
No, you don't even see like I saw the Matt McClung highlights and I saw the embarrassing moments, but I didn't see any other
Mhm.
highlights from any of the other guys. And it wasn't like I wasn't like I was looking at the NBA app trying to find them and they
Yeah.
like it was they didn't even care. So if they don't care, then why not I care? Skills challenge. They were won by Utah.
Jazz, you're right.
The Jazz got it. They defended the home court. I should have made it a wise pick. And
We
then
took Mac McClung, right? Does that count as a wise pick? I think we both agreed on
yeah,
that.
we definitely had Mac McClung. Who did Dame Lillard win the 3-point
Mhm.
contest? Okay.
Yeah. Herder had like one of the worst performances of all
I
time.
saw that.
It's
He had
pretty
like 8
disappointing.
points.
Yeah, so that's sad. And he tweeted out like, not what we expected tonight, but like blah blah. It's like, dude, it's a 3-point contest. No one really cares.
Yeah, it's like yeah,
So
whatever. But
he's having the
it's
best
like
year of his career. It
yeah, it's
doesn't
like
matter.
thanks for the
Michael
thanks for the
Jordan
pub.
was like worst ever in the 3-point contest.
Yeah, he had 5 points. All right, so let's talk about the game itself.
Keep your head up, Kev.
Did you watch a minute of the game?
Oh.
No, neither did I. I didn't watch a minute, not a second. It doesn't help that the defenders were on at the same time, so my allegiance.
I chose XFL over the All-Star game.
And it was a better choice. My brother calls me and he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I watched 2 minutes of the All-Star game and I got bored, so I'm throwing on the defenders." It's like, "Yeah, let's ride." The Tatum, the only thing that mattered, Tatum won MVP. Does that mean Finals MVP is coming? I don't know, but the trend has been the last couple years, so that's the only thing that I care about this game at all. Game sucked. Nobody cared at all. There was no defense.
Like the people on Twitter that are like, "This is not real basketball." Like blah blah. Blah. It's like it's not a hot take. It's been like this for at least like 10, 15 years now.
Yeah,
they don't really care about the All-Star game.
Yeah.
They just like shoot threes and do cool dunks, and that's fine. Like it's not exciting, but you know I'm sure it's fun for them.
You're right. Like there was this big outlash. Like what? Like, the game is not the same anymore. It's like it hasn't been the same since the '90s, bro. They haven't been.
No, it's been
people haven't cared about the
time.
All-Star game since Kobe was playing in it. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Who cares? I agree. Who cares?
Yeah.
It was cool to see the Celtics being the top 2 scorers on both teams. But other than that, I could care less. And
yeah, I'm sure it's fun for the players and for the people that go. I'm sure it's still awesome because you get to see the best players in the world play, even if they're not.
I feel like if I was there, like imagine if you're like you pay a bunch of money to just see them walk up and down the court and do dunks and 3-pointers. I'd be so impressed. But that being said, you should know what you're getting into. We've seen
exactly.
We've seen this the past 5 years.
Like no one should be surprised. So that's what like I hate when Twitter gets all riled up about it. It's like, what the hell did you expect? Like we watched the Pro Bowl 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, honestly. And that was more fun when it was flag football than it was with pads on. Which also I didn't watch a minute of that either. So, but
No, I didn't either.
The NBA is back.
I like the baseball All-Star game.
Oh, I'm sure that I'm not
because
baseball. I'm sure that's fun.
Well, because like there's no reason to try less hard. You're not hitting each other.
Yeah. You're still
like
swinging
you don't
at
have
the
to play
bat.
defense.
Yeah.
Like the guys are throwing hard, the guys are swinging hard, and defense is not that hard. So
agreed. The NBA is back though. I guess the only thing we kind of really haven't covered, Russell Westbrook's now in the Clippers. Huge mistake by the Clippers. At least they got him for
thank
nothing.
God he didn't come back to the Wizards.
He would have been fun on the Wizards though, at least. It would have been fun. He would have tried to win a play-in game. But
we're in the play-in right now.
What a dub. What a dub for you guys. Oh, you don't want Wemby? Here's a play-in game. There you go.
Yeah.
Pat Bev's on the Bulls. The Clippers move and the Pat Bev move, I feel like aren't really gonna affect anything. Besides, maybe the Clippers get worse with Russ. But
I'm not sure.
They're gonna realize
what the end goal is there.
They're gonna realize it, and they're just gonna bench him or cut him for nothing because they're paying him nothing. So at least it's not like the Lakers where they traded all of their team for him. The one that sucks is Kevin Love going to the Heat. I wasn't a fan of that one. I just feel like the Heat are gonna
Why?
find a way to revive him, and he's just gonna be like
Mhm.
classic Kevin Love again, and it's gonna be really pissing me off in the playoffs.
It also kind of felt like he was supposed to be a Cav for life
Yeah,
because he had literally
yeah,
sat through like everything.
yep. He was the last person on
But
the
oh well.
championship team. He did it all, and there was also I didn't understand why they bought him out. Like it didn't really make any
Mhm.
sense to me.
Mhm.
Why not just have like what if one of your players gets injured now? They're gonna be like, oh, we could have used Kevin Love in the
Mhm.
playoffs, and especially if they're the force, like say the Heat go up to the 5th seed. Oh, we could have used Kevin Love in the playoffs. Oh, wait, great. Now we're
Yeah.
facing Kevin Love in the playoffs. Um,
Right.
but other than that, great games of basketball yesterday. It after the All Star break, it just everyone's just so. It seems like like it's that's the start of the season. Season started
Yep.
yesterday,
Yeah.
and
Football's over.
yep, and it really did feel that way with the players, with the games. I was watching the Jazz Utah game. Sorry, Jazz Thunder game. And that was so like, that was an awesome game. They went to overtime, it was a one-point game, and 2 fun young teams just duking it out. It was great to watch. So, there was a lot of games last night that were fun to watch, and I'm excited for the rest of the season. Celtics need to make a
Yeah,
push
you're
this
right.
year,
Like this
you know?
is like a push.
Like, they need to keep it up. Bucks are hot. They need to keep it up.
And to make a push when they're the 1 seed.
They need to they need to push as in a little they need a cushion between them and the Bucks. 3 games is a little too
Yeah,
scary
there you
for them.
go. 3 games.
2 games, sorry.
Like
Well,
1.
actually, it's 1, yeah. And they've won 12 in a row. That scares the shit out of me.
Jeez.
It's
They're
um,
coming.
they are coming. Uh, what were you saying though, Chris?
I don't know what I was gonna say. I really like. It just sucks how indifferent I am about the Wizards.
Yeah.
If they go on like a little run, then I'll start watching, I guess. But
Well, they always
I don't
they're
know. It
gonna
seems like
go on
they
a
have a
run. They're
pretty
gonna
easy
win
schedule
like
coming up.
5, 6 games in a row, and they're gonna lose 10 games in a row. They're gonna win 6 or 7 more
Yeah,
games in a row, and then they're gonna lose another 10 games in a row. Just classic Wizard stuff.
yeah. They'll back into the play-in though.
I hope so. Let's get them in the
It'll,
play-in. That'd be fun.
I guess that
Maybe
would be
maybe they
fun.
win the play-in, get a little 1-8 action first round. Celtics.
Yes, the
That'd be
Celtics.
fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be
That
fun.
would be fun.
Especially since you don't really care all that much. It'd be fun to watch.
Unless if the series got intense, then I think I would.
That would be not fun for me. That'd be not fun for me.
That'd be a serious problem.
Yeah, that would be an issue. All right. So we still got a top 5 to do. So let's wrap it up. Let's get to it. What are we doing this week, Chris? What's the top 5?
It was your idea. We got top 5 smells. Old
Yep.
school top 5.
Old school. So get ready
Very
for
old
not a
school.
lot of analysis. Just oh yeah, good smell. Just get ready for that. Oh, good smell, great smell. And Chris, I took the Mr. start, so you go with the smells.
I gotta go with barbecue. That's my number 1. Just because it reminds me of like a tailgate. As
Mhm.
someone who grew up going to tailgates my whole life at Redskins games, every time I smell barbecue, it's just like I associate that with tailgates and football.
Mhm.
Like, oh, someone's barbecuing.
And good barbecue is just unmatched, I think. Good
Mhm.
barbecue with like nice barbecue sauce, some nice ribs, some pulled pork sandwiches, and all the
Oh yeah.
sides. That I think is better than any food. Like and that's a hot take too, but it's like if you get the culture right, you get the setting right.
It's big culture food.
Yes.
It's like, oh, like we're outside. It's like
Yep.
75 degrees.
Nice breeze
Yeah.
going on. You can smell it in
Oh
the
yeah.
air.
Maybe throwing some bags.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And you're ready to go. I love that take. I mean, I love that pick. Barbecue's great. I had gasoline.
There's a little barbecue. Gasoline.
Yeah.
Will you like huff it?
No, I don't huff gasoline. I just like the smell of it. It's one of the it
I
maybe
actually
it's
do like the smell of gas.
yeah, it's when I'm filling up my car, I'm like, oh, some nice gasoline right there. Like that is some nice petroleum. Then I would never go
Yeah,
out of my way to huff it. I think that's actually illegal. But uh,
is it really?
if you huff gas, I'm
And
pretty sure.
how can it be illegal to smell something that you
I think it's
bought?
legal to huff paint too.
How is it illegal? How's that a
All right,
crime?
let me look it up.
Not fair. Not that I do it, but like, how can you tell someone it's illegal to smell their own paint?
Um, okay. Yes, you can face criminal charges for sniffing paint thinner.
What?
While these
It's
items are legal,
outrageous.
when you use them in accordance to an intent with their intended purposes, they are illegal when used with an unintended manner, such as getting high. What
How
about
could you
gas?
possibly regulate that?
What about gas?
Like, when would you huff gas in public?
Oh yeah, all right. So it's also I mean violations of misdemeanors for inhaling it,
Misdemeanor.
huffing is illegal.
Imagine if that was on your if that was on your record.
It's like, what'd you get arrested for?
No, he's
I was at the
perfectly
gas
clean,
station just,
except
oh man, oh my god. But anyways, besides huffing gas, a nice I like the smell of gasoline. So
I do too. The only time I don't is when you're not expecting to smell it, and you're like, I was like, yes,
it's
I like that.
it's like, yeah, what is it? An action movie? You're like,
Going
oh
on.
shit, we're about to
Yeah.
blow up the
Like,
building.
wait a minute. Sometimes, like our kitchen, I don't know what, like how old your apartment building is, but we have a real gas stove.
Uh-huh.
So like, if you light it, and or if you walk in the kitchen, and you smell gas, you're like,
Uh-oh.
what's going on?
You're like,
What's
uh-oh.
happening here?
All right, your next
No.
one.
But I was just I didn't have that on my list. I was a little taken back. How about freshly baked cookies?
Ah, damn it.
And
Yeah.
dude, in the dining hall, when I smell those cookies, I literally have to go get one. It's like
Yep.
the Family Guy clip with
the
the pie
pie.
that like reaches and it grabs him back. That's how it is. It's like, oh, I'd really love to leave the dining hall now, and then my legs just start moving towards the cookie section.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yep. And you're right. It's like especially I like baking cookies and just the whole aroma in the house just becomes
Hmm.
cookies and it's like
Oh yeah,
you're
we
in a
used to get
bakery.
home from school and smell it. Like my mom had cookies in the oven on a Friday. Like,
Mhm.
oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, that's great. That's what you need. All right, so now my number 2 cuz cookies was number 2. Now it is
Okay.
just dinner cooking. Doesn't really matter like if
Yeah.
you come home, yeah. Oh, what's that cooking? Doesn't matter what it
Yeah.
is.
What's that smell?
Yeah, what's that cooking is like the best thing you can ask yourself because you know
Yeah.
it smells amazing in there.
Yeah. I also love when I'm the one that's cooking and somebody walks through and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
smells good."
Yeah. You're like,
Good
"Oh,
making.
what's cooking in there?" And you're like, "Oh yeah,
Thanks.
we're cooking in here." I also like it when my roommates I come in and like they're cooking something cuz I get excited for
Yeah.
them. I'm like, "Oh, like that smells awesome." Like
Oh, you're
you're
about to
killing
enjoy
it.
this
Yeah,
meal.
yeah,
They're like,
exactly.
yeah.
All right. You're
All right. My next one, bacon.
bacon.
And
Yeah.
bacon just lingers,
Mhm.
which can get old, but the initial smell of bacon it just fills up the house or the apartment.
You can
Boy.
you're right. It'll linger for like a couple hours.
Hmm.
So that's
And it
yeah.
just makes you want to have more bacon.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a great smell.
The potency almost is what keeps it on the list.
Oh, it's an attacking
It's
smell.
like you smell bacon, you're like, oh, it's breakfast time.
Mhm. Mhm. Ready
We're
to go.
eating good.
All right, I got coffee next.
Yeah, I had coffee on
Brewing
mine.
the cup of coffee. It adds to the like the caffeine feeling where it's just like you smell it and you're just like, "Oh,
Hmm.
I'm waking up. I'm
Puts you in
ready
a
to
good
go."
mood.
Yeah,
Or
definitely.
like a coffee shop smell even.
Mhm.
Like you walk in, you're like,
Yeah, all the
It's
different
good
beans are
vibes.
brewing. Yeah.
It's a big vibe smell.
Oh yeah, I agree. 1000% agree.
All right. My number 4, I got fresh cut grass. I was walking on campus the other day and I smelled it and it just reminded me of like waking up early for a baseball game,
Mm-hmm.
warming up after the grass was cut. I was like, oh man, I missed that.
Is it
A
me?
great smell.
I like cutting the grass. Like I like mowing the lawn. I think mowing the lawn's fun. And
I don't think it's like it's something to do, yes, and it's satisfying, but I wouldn't say that I enjoy it.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me then. I and afterwards walk outside. Ah, that just the smell of hard work. That's what it is. Smell
Yeah,
of
it is.
nice hard work being completed.
Yeah, I just always feel gross after I do it.
Oh yeah, it's an immediate shower moment afterwards, but
Yeah.
the satisfaction coming from the smell is always nice. All right, my number 4. I'm going campfires. Any sort of fire.
Yep, and then
You got a fire
I had
brewing.
that on my list as well.
It's always a good time to get to that, and like it's a natural feeling. You know, everyone's outside around the campfire. You can smell it, and everyone smells like it afterwards too. It smells like everyone just had a cigar, and
Mhm.
it's a good smell.
It is a good smell. What's your take on cigars? You like that smell or no?
Depends. It depends how strong it is. If it's like overwhelming,
Yeah.
it can get annoying. But if it's a little sprinkled in there, it smells just like a campfire to me sometimes. So
Yeah.
I can rock with it.
Sometimes I'll get a whiff of it. I'm like, oh, someone's smoking a cigar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not the same with darts.
Uh,
Yeah, not the same with darts.
it's a bit of an aggressive,
Yeah. Yeah.
aggressive pungency. um, my last one is vanilla. Whether it's like vanilla extract or a vanilla scented candle,
Yeah, vanilla's
mm,
nice. It's
nice and cozy.
it is cozy. It's kind of like I feel like it's kind of a basic smell.
It is a basic smell.
Like you want to smell vanilla. Smells good, and you're right. It's comforting. It's familiar. It it gets the mood set. I like it. Good
Yeah,
pick.
nice.
Uh, my last one, since you took cut grass, I'm gonna go with rain. Rainy
Yeah,
day,
rain's a good one.
but not like a downpour. It's got to be like a nice light rain. The sun's out. It's like one of those
Yeah.
sun rain
But
days.
even if it's not like right after it stopped raining and you go
Mhm.
outside and it just smell like you can smell that the rain was there.
Yeah,
It's a nice
yeah,
smell.
it is a good smell. Honorable mentions.
Beach.
Oh, that's a great one. That is
Yeah.
a great smell.
Seinfeld episode.
Oh, the
Like when,
beach.
yeah.
Gucci stole it.
Ocean by Calvin Klein.
Oh, Calvin Klein. That's what it was.
But uh when I think of when I say I smell the beach is when you get to the like when you're driving to the beach, you get onto the island and you roll down the window.
Yep.
You can smell it.
The
That's a
sea
great
salt
smell.
air. That's what it is.
Right.
That's what it's all
Yeah.
about.
And then cologne, but only in small doses.
Yep.
Like someone who has too much cologne is like, but if done right, it's like, oh, you smell nice.
Your mom ever tell you that you need a signature smell?
No.
Over winter break, my mom was like, "Do you wear like any cologne or anything?" I was like, "No," and she's like, "You need a signature smell." What? It's like you need a signature smell. I was like, "You have a good point." Like, yeah, I guess you're right. I do need a signature smell. Um, but yeah, good honorable mentions. I guess the only one I got is just any sort of candy.
Candy, yeah.
Yeah, it just gets me craving some candy. Chocolate too.
Yeah.
I like the smell of chocolate.
Yep. It's a good smell.
Um,
What about dryer sheets?
I like dryer sheets.
Like as soon as the laundry gets done, when you open up the dryer,
Oh
that's a
yeah,
good smell.
that is a good smell. Yeah, and it's all like hot and ready. That's you
Hmm.
smell the clothes. You're just like, ooh.
Yeah. You're just like,
Mm-hmm. Uh, pine. Pine's a fine smell. Good, a nice tree smell.
yeah. Yeah.
Tree
Or
smell.
like any sort of like new wood furniture.
Yep. New car too. New car smells
Yep.
good.
New car is good. Your shoes.
Yep. Yep. New shoes is a great one. The
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I got.
Old Bay.
Old Bay. I smelled Old Bay walking out of class this morning.
Really?
I was like, where am I? It's like, did somebody teleport me back at home? Like, what happened?
Home.
Yeah, 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 literally.
All of a sudden start getting homesick just because you smell Old Bay.
Old Bay, yeah. I was like, who got the crabs out?
Yeah, that is a good smell when it's like, oh, like, what are we using the Old Bay for?
Yeah. Yeah, and it was like, I was outside too. I was like, what is going on? But dishonorable mention, I'm gonna go with the one that makes you go, ooh, that smell. There's many forms of it. There's many different forms
What?
of it, and it's
Like
many
a
different.
fart?
No, no, like just like you walk in the kitchen, just like, oh, what is it? Like maybe it's the dishes, maybe it's some
Broccoli?
food that's left over. Yeah, maybe some
Oh, the
broccoli.
dishes. Dirty
Yeah,
dishes is
dirty
an
dishes is
awful smell.
awful.
Yeah.
Funny
It's a
story.
bad. It's very distinct too.
Last Saturday, we're setting up for one of our parties, and we had to go to one of the houses that had a bunch of coolers in there. Me and my buddy walk in. We're looking for that. We have to walk through the house to go to the backyard to grab the coolers. We walk in. We just go, this place reeks. Like, this is so nasty. And little did we know, one of our boys who lives there was in the bathroom. And
Oh, no.
no, and it wasn't like it wasn't him stinking it up. It was just the house
Okay.
like stunk. So he
Right.
walks in and he hears us walk in and he hears, "Oh, brother, this place reeks." And he's like, "That was my motivation to get everyone to clean the house the next day." So,
Yeah,
because
a fraternity guy's house or apartment that hasn't been cleaned is a pretty bad smell.
also dishonorable mention, day old beer left out. Terrible.
Day old Four Loco is
Oh,
the worst.
oh, God.
And that will talk about filling up a room. That will fill
Oh
up a
yeah,
room.
yeah. That's like a Febreze spray.
Disgusting.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yes.
Ugh. All right. Well, I think that does it. That was a great pod. Thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see everybody Tuesday. Which, by the way, Tuesday we're gonna try to do some pre-recorded pods coming afterwards. But next Thursday, I'm leaving for Scotland. I'm gonna record my adventure. I'll try to get some stuff on the Instagram about it. We're gonna see I'm gonna see some soccer stadiums, some rugby stadiums. So,
And the bagpipes.
yep, bring in the bagpipes. So hopefully that's a lot of fun. But we're not gonna have a pod for 10 days that are live. So get ready for some hopefully some releases and some content out there. I know it's sad. It's sad. It's really sad.
Sad.
But we'll see everybody Tuesday and have a great weekend. Let's go Cox, baby. Shock the world.